birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awful.
Do you have your gin? Yes, there it is. Good deal.
Yes. Well, you see, this is it. Oh, and it's beautiful. I think I deserve it for getting to this age.
I think you do as well.
Yes, I do. Right. How are you?
I'm all right. You know, this constant shift in weather conditions here. One week it's snowpocalypse and everybody's trapped in their houses, and then now it's like in the 50s and the 60s this week. Today has been raining, so it's not too bad. But how about yourself?
It's been nice here. Normally in February it's really, really cold, but no, it's been very nice. So before we start anything, I have a request for us to talk to a very lovely lady called Elif Earl, and she's given me permission to use her name.
Okay.
Earlier in the week, this lovely lady, and she is very, very nice, came to me and she said to me, she asked about you, and she said, were you in Afghanistan or were you in the United States? So I said to her where you were.
Mm-hmm.
And so she showed me what she had. And this is what you do, apparently.
Uh-oh.
I work with the US Special Forces Operational Detachment Alpha Team assigned to Company B, 82nd Airborne Division. Okay, I'm telling you things you didn't know. You're an information management technologist by discipline and also a drill sergeant.
At the same time, all of this at the same time, that's what I do?
Well, yeah, you're just so clever, Rob. No. My job here is to monitor military intelligence, including network administration, database management, and computer hardware and software implementation. I also join the combat team on special missions. Do you know, I think actually you need a pay rise. What I want to say is, can you please tell Elif that it really isn't you? That, I mean, I told her and she believes me, and she's very upset. And you know, we do have some lovely people who are genuine victims who what are you drinking?
Oh, this is an old fashioned. It's my drink of choice. I have in this glass, there is bullet bourbon with some homemade bitters, a little bit of simple syrup. It's delicious.
I knew it wasn't. I mean, normally it's just beer with you, but that looks heady stuff. Yeah, so let's get back to Elif.
Yeah.
So if you could just tell her that, you know, it's not you, and this is a good, it's a good thing to tell everybody that what they're telling you is crap, basically.
It's one big pile of shit is what it is.
Yeah.
All of that, we try and explain things so it doesn't let some people hear it and learn. All of that is absolute crap. It's all absolute crap. That's not even the lengthy description of all that. Absolutely not. If I in fact did all of that, I wouldn't be in the Army, and I certainly would be a lot higher paid than I am.
Yeah. It to me, they've taken an awful lot of things and put them together. I mean, it went on to say how, you know, you can't use a cell phone, you have to use a military phone. And with the military phones, you're not allowed to have video chats and things like that. So, I mean, they're covering everything with them. But
there is a difference between, military phones, I mean, we don't really call them military phones, but there is a particular type of phone that can be used, and it's purely for phone calls, nothing else. So if somebody's telling you that they're talking to you through a military phone, they're full of shit.
Yeah. I want you to understand that video calls, and taking of pictures are highly prohibited and punishable under the camp rule and military code of conduct. If I'm caught in this act, I will have to face a trial or suspension, as the case may be, for contravening the camp rules. I know I shouldn't be telling you this, because my situation here is very critical, that I can see you are a very caring and understanding woman. Thanks, baby. You're the sweetest. So you see, they tell them anything. You know, soldiers on missions are restricted from using these devices, but they couch them in a way. Now, Elif, English is not her first language, and that worries me because, you know, if English is not your first language, and I have a very good friend who works on the page with me, and she's Dutch, and her English is perfect, but if she sees a big long bit of text, she goes blind. You know, she'll pass it to me and say, you know, what does he say? So they're blinding them, you know, and you read that and it sounds ever so official. It's, oh, isn't he important, you know? And then, of course, you've got on the bottom, oh, thanks, baby, you're the sweetest.
Everybody over there is taking pictures. Everybody over there is recording things. It's not illegal. It's not unauthorized. The times I've been over there, throughout the entire time period that I was there, we were taking pictures, everything. Like, we do that over there because, I mean, it helps us capture our own memories and, you know, stories and everything for later, but it's not unauthorized and it's not illegal. There are certain things that are unauthorized and illegal for us to take pictures and video of. We all know what those things are, and we don't do those things. I say that loosely because we, you know, people are people, but for somebody to tell you that they cannot take pictures, videos, they can't do this, they can't do that, no, they're blowing smoke up your ass. It's a lie.
Well, this is it, and you see, this sounds so official. That if you didn't know how the army worked, I still think, even if I didn't know how the army worked, it doesn't sound feasible, but I can understand when sometimes it does to people.
I'd see where you're coming from, yes, but also for anybody that is talking to these people and they're receiving these messages, look at the verbiage, look at how they're talking. Like, Americans don't talk like that. Anybody of extremely high rank and position, even that person doesn't talk like that to people. Yeah. Now, if it's a professional conversation amongst other people, that's a different story. But just in just a chit chat over a messenger or something, we don't talk like that. We don't talk like that.
And I mean, I've talked to many of you now, and you know, obviously I knew Americans before I met any of you lot. But you know, I've not heard anybody say baby as a form of conversation. You know, it's not something that you do. I don't know where you got it from, Robert.
Even really not until after we've established something, then words like that start coming out. Or if, like, in a joking manner, we'll say something else. But it's the words that they use, their ridiculous terms of endearment are not what we use on a daily basis.
You don't call anybody my dear. I don't know anybody in the world under 95 that actually, you know, does call anybody my dear. But yeah, we've got to get this across. And you know, sometimes you come across a victim and you just want to hug them because they're lovely, lovely people. And Elif, sadly, had also sent money.
She did? Ugh.
Yeah.
She ain't getting that back.
She's not.
Is she on here right now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
I don't know what she's come on underneath. I don't know what she's come on as, but I do know that she was coming on tonight because I said that I would mention her to you. Because, you know, I wanted to, the one thing that always scares me is when we say one thing to a victim, and that's fine, and then they go back and the scammer is, I'm real, babe. Don't believe her. She'll tell you anything. I had to say that because, you know, and I just didn't want her to go back to the scammer. And you know, and it was this week, and I was talking to you, and you know, I said to her that you would tell her that you're not going to marry her. Yeah,
Nope.
and that's as far as it got really with her.
It's definitely not me. As you can clearly see, I'm in my kitchen of my house, nowhere
Yes.
near Africa in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. No, military camps are very good if that's what they look like. So, anyway, thank you, Alif, and I am very, very sorry they found you. You know, I really do. There isn't a cure for scamming. I personally would like to put a bullet between their eyes.
Me too.
And I mean, I personally, I'd fight you for it. I personally would like to put the bullet between their eyes, you know? Yeah, because, you know, the cruelty is awful. And then you get in the position like Rob gets himself in. And I still hear from Roberta.
Oh, Lord. You know, she sent me some messages from her friends' accounts. She created another fake account. Like, she will still message me. And the funny thing is, you know, she still adds all these things in. I got a lawyer. I'm gonna sue you. You're harassing me. I'm like, woman, you will not leave me the fuck alone. You're harassing me.
She's the same with me. She makes us. I block her every time. I do tell her what I think of her, but then I block her, and then it goes for a little while. And then she comes back with another one. You know. So,
yeah.
You know. And she sort of forgets that she's going to take you to court. She's going to take us to court. Joe and Lauren on Instagram, she's taking them to court as well. And then, you know, it's sort of, I did not threaten to shoot you in the head. It was her cousin. It was not her. Oh, yeah, see, she's been on again.
I mean, I'm still waiting for it. I delightfully accepted her offer of death. So I'm still waiting for them to show up.
Yeah.
But you know they're full of shit. She ain't doing it. They ain't doing it.
But why don't they stop? Why does it go on for such...
I don't understand it. Right. I don't understand it either. You figured out you got scammed. Deal with that shit. It's true. It happened. It's in your face. You know.
Yeah.
100%. You got scammed and you fell for it. Get the fuck over it.
But then she's coming to you once she knows that you were never talking to her for 3 years or 5 years because it keeps changing. She knows it's not you.
Yeah.
So why?
But she's still doing it.
Why does she keep coming back? Because 1 week she hates you and the next week she loves you. Now, I actually prefer the week she hates you because I worry about the week she loves you.
Oh, God, me too. I would rather her just hate me and continue on with that because it makes life better for everybody.
It does, doesn't it? And I mean, it's one thing that we've talked about all week. And I'm talking to Juan Avalos at 10:30, and
he was the one. I talked with him a couple years ago, and I think it was like last year, October, I think it was, when we went on that live, when the whole deal with Roberta first started happening. I mentioned that I had spoken to with one of the other service members, that he was the one that I actually talked to. I talked to him a couple years ago about the entire situation, and you know, he was the one that I learned from, that just there's nothing any one of us can do. For so long as women are falling for it, they're going to continue doing it. There's absolutely nothing that any one of us can do. So, I mean, you just have to like not care. So
he was really attacked this week on TikTok. Really, really attacked. You know, by some horrible women, really, really awful women. And they really, really attacked him. And it was way out of order. It was horrible. And, you know, you just wonder the mentality that, you know, because I'll say it again, that if you are going to scam somebody and you are going to steal thousands of dollars from women, you're pretty bad at it if you use your own picture. Because you wouldn't last 2 minutes. I mean,
some of
you
them
were arrested in a day.
Right. Some of them, it's weird because they will use their own pictures on accounts, and they'll make their fake accounts using our pictures, and then they'll have an account, or the fake account that they make to use our pictures with, they put their picture on it too.
Yeah. and then say they've been hacked. You're being hacked.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, and I haven't got the yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I'd just like to say good evening to all the Nigerians that's going to be watching us, because I do know that we're one of your favourite channels and that you do like to watch
and
us.
you can all kiss my fucking ass.
Yeah, that's maybe not a very good prospect, but you know.
Yeah. My friend here just had a very good comment. It popped up. So it's 2021. Get it together, ladies. If you can video chat to confirm, then let it go. Right. Every single platform has picture and video chat capabilities. And if you're wanting to do that and they're telling you no, that's a huge red flag. If they're trying to persuade you to using an entirely different app altogether, that's a red flag in itself. If you're talking on social media on a platform and they're on there, you can do everything on that Instagram. You can do everything on Instagram. So if they try and tell you we need to go talk on Hangouts or what's that? There's some other one.
There's WhatsApp, Telegram.
WhatsApp.
Taking up. Yeah, WhatsApp and Telegram are really popular.
Right. Nah.
And nobody, absolutely nobody has a broken camera on their phone. You know, they'll say the camera's broken. Well, you've got 2 cameras on your phone. And your friend sat next to you is going to have a phone. And if you're madly in love with somebody, you're going to be able to do that on the phone, aren't they? So, you know, do not accept it. This
one, what does it say? What if they call or video, but it never connects, like it has no signal? Because it's bullshit. It's because don't fall for it.
If you can imagine that, if you can imagine you have a laptop and your phone. So somebody takes a picture of Rob or Juan or anybody else off Instagram and plays it on their laptop and points the phone at it and takes it as a video. And that makes you think that it's a live video. And it's a bit dodgy because, you know, they're going to move it around a bit. And there's no sound because they haven't got it on. But when they see you move, it's, well, I saw him. It was him on that video.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is a video call where one of you can say one thing and the other person can answer you. And that is the only video call that you need to accept. Absolutely.
And also, you know, these videos. So if they're taking screen recordings of things that we've posted, you're going to get anywhere from what 10 to maybe 60 seconds at most of the same thing, and then that's all, because that's the only amount of time that Instagram or any social media platforms will. They're going to pull up one and they're going to use that, and then they'll say, oh well, there's an issue, there's a problem, that's all I can do. Yeah, I know, because you're taking it straight from another source, and that's the only time period you have to actually play that video. Then they try and get crazy with these voiceover videos, putting their voice over my face. You guys got to be stupid.
You know, yeah, but they're funny, Rob. You know, they're really, really worth it because they are so entertaining. It is. And, you know, they're quite good because the vast majority of women who receive them then realise how fake it is. So the more they do that, the more they're screwing up their scam, because the women realise that, well, your mouth's not moving to the words and you sound like you're Nigerian, or you sound like you're African. And you know, if you're in a secret location and you're on a secret mission, well, you're not going to be on Instagram contacting women. You know, they don't make spies like they used to. You know, you can't do so. Just be sensible, to me.
Plus, if you're talking for hours on end with a military member that's overseas and they're deployed, if you're like hours on hours consistently talking with them, that's another red flag in itself. There is not one single person that's deployed that has anywhere from 3 to 6 hours of continuous time to just sit and chat on social media. Like, we got things to do. We all have a job. Everybody has a different job over there, but we all have something to do. So if they're saying they're at work while you're spending 3, 4, 5, 6 hours talking to them, they're full of shit.
And they're saying things like, well, he's talking to me overnight because he's busy during the day. Well, if he's talking to you overnight, he's not sleeping. So if he's going to be a really load of good during the day, isn't he? I don't want him walking behind me if he's been up all night talking to a woman, you know.
Right.
And then can you just comment on those that say that you're deployed to Nigeria?
What about him?
Because why did they say you're deployed to Nigeria? Because you're not going to be deployed to Nigeria. You know, they say things like you're in the camp in Lagos.
There are only certain locations in Africa where you will find actual American military service members. And the missions down there are very precise. But
they're usually joint missions as well, aren't they?
Yes, but they're very small numbers of people. So you're not going to find an entire division, or you're not going to find thousands of soldiers in Africa. They're very, very small numbers because it's a very small mission with a very specific purpose. So for all of these things to go on, for all of these service members in the American military to somehow all be in Africa at the same time? No.
Yeah. My son worked in Ethiopia for 4 years, and he was responsible for Ethiopia and Somalia. So he had to go down to Somalia, and there was you know, a few American troops there that he used to have to deal with. But you know, as he said, there were very small numbers. They're there to do a job, and the only ones really, like the Marines around Ethiopia and things like that, well, they were, you know, in the embassy. They weren't running around going on patrol and things.
Yeah.
Then I want to talk to you about something else that's really quite serious that people might not realize. Ulrich de Balbion.
Oh, yeah.
So Rob has a stalker, and he's had this stalker for 2 years. I'm trying to now. If you saw, I want to show you something. If you saw this on Amazon, who would you think is, how can you see it? You can't see from my lamp. So this is Ulrich on Amazon. Now, Ulrich de Balbion, and look at the picture that he's got there. That's not Ulrich de Balbion at all. It's Robert. And he sells books about philosophy. I love the fact, I really love the idea, Rob, of you writing books on philosophy. It just, you know. This is embodied consciousness.
That's such an old picture too. That is such an old picture.
Very old one. But the thing is that this man is selling these books at $20 each, and he sells thousands of them.
And they all have my face on them.
And they all have your face on them. Now you get little ones like this, which is something else. Now this one I really love because it's absolute determination and lack of free will. Now this is rather ironic because if you look, he's got something else on the front, but if you look on the back, it's that picture of you again.
Yeah.
Which seems to me, if I looked at that, I would say that that man in that picture is Ulrich de Balbion.
So I talked, well, at least I want to say I talked to him because I didn't really talk to him. I sent him a nice message a couple years. I think we're going on 3 years dealing with this now.
Yeah, it must be because
he messaged me on Instagram a few years ago, two maybe 3 years ago, on the last Instagram account that I had. Apparently, he knows me. He has some, like, he has my address. He knows where I live. He has talked to me multiple times, and I have given him permission to use my photos to use for his books and articles. I think at one point he was actually publishing like articles in magazines wherever he's at or something. So I had a very nice lengthy message telling him a few things about himself. And the fact that he had absolutely no idea who I was, who the real me was. He did not have my permission to use my photos. And if he continued to do so, he better cough up some of that money, because he owes me royalties.
Yeah, yeah, he does. I mean, he used to come to me and he used to say that I was wrong for defending you because you were telling lies. My theory is that Ulrich, who we actually had emails from calling himself John Bone, and I think that's his real name, but I think he's a gay old man. He looks,
I think he is too.
A gay old man, and I think he's been scammed using your pictures.
I think so as well, because I think there was at one time you showed it to me. He had in his Facebook page, all of the pictures on his Facebook page were just of half naked men. Yeah. And some that were more than half, because he has it.
yes, there were. I learned a lot about biology at that time, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was. But all this time on, and he's still using you. I mean, he's got this philosophy page on Facebook. And on the philosophy page, he's got what looks like the inside of a museum or something. But you are in the middle of that. Your pictures are in the middle of that. And I think it's scary. I don't like him. I really don't like him. I think he's very scary. Now, again, Rob, he is one who's taking us to court. Again.
Oh, another lawsuit.
We might get to meet in court one day. You know,
we might. I look forward to it.
Yeah, because I mean that's what everybody. Now, I want to tell you something else about Ulrich. He doesn't use you for this, but if you look at that, Ulrich does modern art. Okay? Now, if you look at this, would you like that on your wall? Yeah.
No.
If you look on Statue Gallery, now Ulrich has just sold that for $50,998. His artwork of that caliber sells for between $30,000 and $50,000.
Good Lord.
There. And you've got, like, I think I counted about 20 on there that's actually being sold. So he's not a poor man.
Well, if he's not a poor man, then he can pay for all the court stuff, so that way he can end up spending more money when he's got to give it to us when he loses.
Yeah, because, you know, the thing is that I think when it gets to the case of Ulrich, it's a whole different ballgame from a normal romance scam, because he is using you to make money. Basically.
Why? What is it about me? Why do I get all?
I don't know.
I
don't know. I mean, I have to say that I come across quite a few people with stalkers, but nothing like yours. You know, you just seem to get them. You really do.
That's my luck.
You just, you know, you just seem to attract stalkers, but you get really serious ones. But yeah, I don't have any more of Ulrichs, but they're awful. You know, the thing is that if I put a piece of paper on the floor and I put some paint down there and I set my dog on there, he would do a similar picture to what Ulrich's got in the Saatchi Gallery. And he's getting $30,000 to $50,000 a shot for these. So, you know, come on, we're in the wrong job.
Right. Maybe I could just throw a canvas on the floor, dip my feet in some mud, take a few steps on it, and then, you know what? I just said feet. There's people crazy enough. Oh my God, I want to buy your feet pictures. No, but no.
Yeah, but you know, it's a very dangerous world, and we've got to get this over to people that the fact is that, you know, you guys, I hope that if somebody gets scammed, you get scammed once. Any more than that, and you shouldn't. But right. You might take it, you might get scammed once, you might out of the blue. And you know, there's certain times in people's lives that on one day they might not even accept it. On another day, they're being a bit down, they're lonely, somebody's died, whatever. And they take it, and you know, the scam goes. So you get scammed once. I mean, this is years that you've been used. How many thousands of times have you been a victim? You don't even know, because you have no way of knowing how many thousands of times that they've used your pictures.
Yeah, I do know, just from all the times that we've basically did like a roundup of fake profiles and have reported them all. I know we're over a couple thousand already, if not more than that. Just I can vaguely remember off the top of my head. I mean, even the first day that I found out that this was going on, I had over 20, about 21, if I remember correctly, that were sent to me. And just one day. And that was when I found out that all this stuff was going on. And then it's just been increasing from there. And then the thing, like you said, they get scammed one time. So these women, they get scammed, they fall for it, and they have to deal with the fact that they got scammed.
They had a choice. They had a choice in that.
Yes.
Because they did, at the end of the day, they had a choice to accept or not accept. They had a choice to send the money or not send the money.
There are some women that have been scammed more than once.
Yes, I know.
And that just blows my mind. I don't understand. Like, it happened once. You should have learned from that. Because they're all doing the exact same things. Yeah. They're saying the exact same things. They're the protocol, the way they do things, it's exactly the same every single time, just a different face. How you are continuously falling for it is beyond me.
I have a lady who was talking to me, and she'd sent $155,000. I don't think I'll ever see that in my lifetime, but never mind. She'd sent 150. Don't look so shocked, Rob. The punchline's better. She'd sent $155,000, and we were talking about this, and I was, you know, sort of trying to coach her through what to do. And she said, "That's not the worst thing." She said, "I sent the other man 100,000. She'd been scammed by a military man, and she'd sent $155,000. Simultaneously, she'd been scammed by a man in an oil rig that she sent $100,000 to." Now, I think it was the same gang of scammers. I really, really do. I think it was the same gang of scammers.
It probably was, because you know, because that's what they do. Like, they have these schools, and they are taught how to do all this. And I think I read and I learned at one point. So any just one scammer is working a scam on upwards of like between 15 and 25 women at a time, and this is just one scammer.
Yeah, we know of scammer groups who sort of hang out in rooms who are doing 100 to 150 at once between them. Yeah.
Lord. 150 and then another 100. If I had that kind of money to throw around, I certainly wouldn't be giving it to people I've never met.
I'd be on permanent holiday.
I'd be right there with you. I would be right there with you.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't give it to anybody. I know that people get lonely. I really, really do. I can't say I've been there. As I tell people all the time, I've been widowed 12 years, nearly 13 years now. And when you first get widowed, it's tough. You know, it's really hard, because my husband died when he was 52. And so it was like, it's a shock, because even though you have cancer for a long time, you still don't expect them to die. And so, but the idea that somebody could come in just within a few weeks and replace him, it would never, ever have, you know, it wouldn't have dawned on me to do that. I mean, they did try on me, and that's how I fell into all of this. But I was lucky. I had the worst scammer in the world, and he was pretending to be an American general. So, you know, I found out about it by having the worst scammer in the world. But I still think that, you know, I get people who are scammed for 2 years, 3 years. That's not where is that? Where is that curing the loneliness?
But curing the loneliness aside, if somebody's being scammed for that long, there is not one single American military person that spends that amount of time anywhere overseas on a deployment. Like, there are people that are stationed in European countries. Yeah. They're stationed there, but it's not a deployment.
Yeah, because there's some here, there's some in Germany.
Right. And their scammers are saying that they are deployed in a combat zone. Not one single American military person is deployed to any combat zone for that period of time. It does not happen. It does not happen. The longest, I'm not actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to say that, because if somebody's listening, then they're going to start using it. No, it's just not possible.
Yeah, no, it's not. And I always think of it logically, because you are not going to send a family man away for 3+ years. And you know, a lot of people who are in the military are family men. And they're not going to go away for that length of time. They do go away for quite a long time. But not for that length of time, and it doesn't make sense. And Rob, something else as well, and we both know this, where they say to the victim, I don't get paid when I'm deployed.
Yeah, that's bullshit. There is not a single service member deployed is worried about money or has issues of not getting paid.
I know you get paid a lot more when you're deployed, but you have access to it. You know, you have it. You have that money. And that's the one big thing that I can't understand, that how they would think that that you would not get paid while you're away. You know,
now there are instances where, say, the correct amount might need to be adjusted, but for them to not have money at all, not to get paid at all, or to have these money issues that they're claiming they have, no, absolutely not.
I had the absolute best story this week, that somebody was stationed in Mali in Africa, and there was a blast at the camp in Iran, and he'd been on the run for 3 months, and the only person he had was this lady that he was emailing, and he wanted £270 for a radar clip so that he could be found. His phone hadn't run out of charge in 3 months.
That's amazing.
And
I need that phone battery.
Yeah, and he wanted the money to get a radar clip. So how did he get the money, and how did he get the radar clip? You know, that's one really dense Nigeria.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And, you know, what I want to say to people is that these guys, when they're deployed, when you're not deployed, when you're sat in your kitchen, they are no different from anybody else. So the fact that Rob might be on his way home to you and he gets kidnapped at the airport, and you've got to send him $10,000 so he can pay the kidnappers to get away, that's not going to happen.
No.
The more outrageous it is.
That's not even logical.
It's not. You get kidnapped. You get kidnapped, but they leave you your phone so you can phone this woman you've never met. You know, real life is the same as online life. If it's not right, and you know, this thing, let's address this thing about Steam cards, iTunes cards, Amazon cards.
All of these cards and all these things, the reason why they're asking for them specifically is because they can cash it out and make a deposit. And it goes right back into with when we're deployed. Like, we have access to things. We have money. We have access to get food, hygiene products, things that we want. Like, we have access to absolutely everything. So all these cards that they're specifically requesting them is because they can take the dollar value off of it and deposit it into their accounts. That's the only reason why they're asking for any of these types of cards. We don't use those. We don't order those. We don't pay for those. We don't need them, because everything that we possibly could need or want, we have access either at the touch of our fingertips, or there's actual places we can go and buy these items at. Amazon is a great and wonderful thing because Amazon delivers worldwide. So for anybody to tell you that, oh, I need these cards for this or that, no, it's, again, it's all bullshit. It's for the intent of them getting those cards because they know that they can take the money off of that card and have it deposited into an account.
Yeah. Sorry. I love gin and tonic. Yeah. And you know, it's just, it's a weird world. It is a really weird world. And the money that they actually get sent, Rob, it's eye-watering. I mean, Sandy, who's monitoring this at the moment, she's our monitor police, just in case we get any bad people in. She talked to 2 ladies over 2 days. And the total amount that these 2 women had sent was $694,000.
How much?
$694,000.
Good night.
You know, it is eye-watering. It's getting worse. It's getting very much worse. So I will say good night to you.
Right.
No, I won't say good night to you. I'll say good afternoon. What time is it there?
It is 3:41 in the afternoon here currently.
And you're drinking bourbon.
Yeah. Well, I told you I was going to have a drink with you for your birthday.
Yes. Well, this is
and I don't have anything to do today but just hang out at the house, do some cleaning, and get ready for work tomorrow. So why not?
Yes. Well, I've had, we're in lockdown here, and we're not allowed to mix in families. So I've had all my family around. You know, we're not allowed to do that. So I've had everybody around. I've had the daughters-in-law around. I've had the kids around. I've had everybody around. So
yeah.
My other son's underneath the sea in a submarine. So I haven't heard from him today, but I did last week. So
that's good. That's good.
That wasn't too bad. But
well, hopefully we get to hear from him. He'll be able to get in contact with you.
He's supposed to be away for 4 months, which the idea of being under the sea in a submarine for 4 months is.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's used to it. He's done it before. He's not a great fan of it, but they've got to, and it's their job, isn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, when in 2022, he is being stationed in Norfolk, VA.
Really?
Yeah. So after he comes off this submarine, he's going to Norfolk. So, you know, his last foreign was Addis Ababa, and this foreign is Norfolk. So I think they're going to be very different. I'm looking forward to it.
I've been to Virginia. I went to visit. I haven't spent a whole lot of time there, but I've visited certain parts of Virginia, and the parts that I saw were actually really nice. So you'll probably have a good time.
Yeah, and I've got it. I want to sort of time it really nice in the NHL season, because I'm really looking forward to seeing where he's living in VA. But if I can do it with the NHL season as well, I'll be a happy bunny.
There you go.
See? Oh, see, you've got some really nice comments coming up here, Robert.
Those are all for you.
I do love you. Right. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Well, you're very welcome, and you have enjoyed the rest of your birthday, and I know you're about to do another one, so I hope that conversation goes well as well.
He seems to be a little treasure, so I feel very sorry. After his attack the other night, you know, I get very sort of, you know, we all do, we get very defensive of you, so we really want to let him get his point across. And the fact that, you know, we started to do these, and, you know, live chats, I have to say, everybody, live chats were down to this man, because this was his idea from the very first. And it was the whole thing about getting to know him and all of them, and how they talk and how they are, and their real character, not the character that your scammer is telling you that they are, you know. So, you know, this is why they're doing them. And I have to say, I love doing them. So, right, especially with the gin. So
it's always a pleasure to be on. It's always a good time. I enjoy these. So, you know, I'm always available whenever. We can always schedule another one, as you already know. So,
and we will.
All righty. Well, you enjoy the rest of your night. Happy birthday again,
you.
and I hope your next one does very well.
Thank you very much. Good
You're
night.
very welcome. All right. Good night.
Thank you, everybody. And that was Robert. And, you know, Rob said a lot to you. And I hope as well we get over a lot to you. There's a lot of things to say. And people come to us all the time. Hundreds and hundreds of you come to us. And we love it. We love it when you come to us. But what happens is people say to us, is this, that, or, you know, is he in Afghanistan? Is he doing this? Can you do videos from Afghanistan? And then we'll give an answer, and they will, and then, you know, victims will come back and say to us, how do you know? Well, we know because we ask these guys. And so thank you very, very, very much for all my happy birthdays. It's been a really lovely day, and thank you very much. I think I'm now officially a very old lady, because today I'm 65 and it's no fun. I can tell you that. It absolutely is no fun. But when you've got gin, well, you know, come on, it's worth it. So yeah, so you don't believe it when we tell you. And so we hope you believe it when these guys tell you. So thank you very much, people. And come back in 3/4 of an hour and we'll no, Bobby Hunt. Age is just a number. Yes, Pam. But when it gets to the number that I am, it is a very, very big number. So yeah, I love gin as well. Do you know? We should have just a gin night, shouldn't we? So yeah, so thank you very much, ladies. And gentlemen. I will see you in 45 minutes and we'll talk to Juan and see what he's got to say. Good night, everybody.